Hi, I'm Brendon. Today we're doing a nice, gentle, feel-good yoga flow to stretch the neck, the side body, and the hips. So when you're ready, meet me on the mat. Come to a kneeling position on your mat, sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up the lungs. Exhale through the mouth, sigh it out. One more breath like that, just releasing your day. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out. Tuck your chin down towards your chest, finding length in the back of your neck. Then roll right ear towards your right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And then inhale, left ear comes toward the left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, rolling back to the right side. This time reach your left fingertips out beside you on the mat, getting deeper into this stretch. And then you could explore this a little bit just by turning your head down toward the mat or up toward the ceiling. Noticing all the different sensations you feel in different areas of your neck. The next time you breathe out, lower chin down to chest again. And then take a left ear toward the left shoulder, right fingertips reach out to your right side. Again, maybe turning your head down or up if that feels good for you. Moving nice and slow, releasing tension from your neck. Exhale, lower chin down to your chest again. And then with an inhale, lift your chin up toward the sky, finding length in the front of your neck. Let's come back to neutral now. With your inhale, reach your left arm up and overhead toward the right, side bending to the right. Right hand can come down to the mat and then slide your hips off of your heels so you can get deeper into this side bend. Think about sending your breath into your left side, feeling lots of expansion there. With your next inhale, come back to center, sitting on your heels again. And then reach right arm up and over to the left. Slide your hips off to the right side. Finding length and expansion in the right side now. As you inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, bring your hands in front of you, coming to all fours, box pose. Place wrists under the shoulders, knees under your hips, and make sure your fingers are spread out wide. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So inhale as you lift your chest and tailbone. Pull the shoulder blades together. Exhale to round and press the floor away. Inhale, cow pose, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale for cat, round, tuck your chin and pull your belly in. Let's take 2 more rounds like that, moving with the pace of your own breath. Come back to neutral whenever you're finished. And then take a moment or two just to bring in any additional movements that your body's asking for now. So it might feel good to bring right shoulder and right hip toward each other, and then left shoulder and left hip, kind of like wagging your tail side to side. Or if something else would feel better for you, go ahead and do that for another breath. And come back to center. Now step your left foot forward between your hands, swivel your right shin toward the left, and then bring left forearm up onto your left thigh. Right arm reaches up toward the ceiling. Bend deeply into the left knee, so we're sort of in a low side angle pose here. Hopefully you're feeling a stretch in your right quad up into your right hip flexors. On your next exhale, bring right hand to the back of your mat, straighten your left leg, turning toes toward the right side of the mat. Reach left arm up, so now we're in a side plank with right knee down. And let's take a few circles with this left arm, trying to find nice big range of motion in the left shoulder. Take a few circles in the other direction. And with your next inhale, we'll come back to that side angle pose. So lift yourself up, turn left toes toward the top of your mat, left elbow to left thigh, right arm up. For this one, you could bring left fingertips down to the mat inside your left foot. Keep bending into your left knee, maybe reach right arm forward. Really focus on your right quad and your right hip flexors, and maybe add a little bit of movement here to figure out which position gives you the best stretch. Now lower your right hand down, walk both hands over to the right, straighten the left leg again, coming into half frog. So walk your hands out and let your chest sink down, maybe forehead rests on the mat. Your upper body should feel kind of like it's doing down dog, but we're still on the right knee and the left foot. Actively press down through your fingertips. And on each exhale, see if you can release down a little bit more. Finding more softness through the shoulders, more space in your left inner thigh. Press into your hands, start walking them back in towards you, and then walk them toward the back of your mat. Step right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Could be with bent knees or straight legs, or maybe you pedal it out, alternating bent knees. Then soften both knees, look toward the top of your mat, and take small steps toward your hands. Forward fold, bend into the knees deeply, and grab opposite elbows, just so you can let your upper body hang like a rag doll. You could sway side to side if that feels good for you. Another option is to bring your hands toward the base of your skull. Just add a little traction, a little weight, so that your neck finds some more space. Send your breath into your back. Bring palms to shins now, and as you inhale, lift up halfway and lengthen the crown of your head forward. As you exhale, release that, folding back down. Inhale, reach your arms out, rise up to standing. Cactus arms on your exhale, lift your chest, bring elbows down to shoulder height. Inhale, reach your arms back up. On your exhale, swan dive down. Plant your right fingertips, bend your right knee, twist toward the left, reach your left arm up toward the ceiling. You could keep both knees bent if you need to. Release that. Plant the left fingertips, bend your left knee, twist and reach up to the right. Lower with your exhale. Plant your hands, step one foot back at a time, find a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here and sigh it out. Gently lower both knees to the mat, box pose, and then step your right foot between your hands. Swivel the left shin over toward the right. So we're finding that low side angle pose on the opposite side. Right elbow on top of right thigh, left arm up. Really bend into the right knee until you feel a stretch in your left thigh, your left hip flexors. Side plank pose next. So bring left hand down toward the top of your mat. Straighten your right leg, right arm lifts up. And then begin to circle your right arm. Again, finding the widest range of motion that you can today. Circle in the other direction now. With your next inhale, come back to our low side angle pose. So maybe right fingertips find the mat inside of your right foot this time, and left arm reaches overhead. Bend even more into your right knee, taking this deeper, or maybe adjust a little bit until you find the best stretch for you in your left quad and hip flexors. Place your left hand on the mat, walk both hands to your left, straighten the right leg, half frog on the second side. So walk your hands forward, allowing your chest to sink down and forehead to rest on the floor. Keep the fingertips active, pressing down, but soften through the shoulders with every exhale. Start walking your hands back in towards you, and then toward the top of your mat, find a downward facing dog facing the top of your mat. Soften your knees, look forward, and take small steps up to your hands. Forward fold. Heel toe the feet even wider, almost as wide as your mat, and then let your hips sink down. So we're coming to Malasana, a yogi squat. Try to keep your heels on the floor if at all possible. If not, no worries, just work with where you are today. Hands come to heart center. Focus on lengthening the spine up, sending your tailbone down. Elbows can press the inner thighs out, but also resist. So press your thighs into the elbows. Release that engagement. Bring your hands behind you just so you can take a seat. And then windshield wiper your knees side to side a few times, releasing the hips. Bring your knees to center. Scoop your belly in. Roll all the way down onto your back. Set up for a bridge pose. So bring your heels pretty close to your glutes. Arms next to your sides. Ground down through your heels. And on your inhale, lift your hips up. Imagine you have a block between your thighs and you're squeezing that block. Without moving your feet, think about drawing the heels back towards your shoulders and lengthening your knees forward. Slowly lower your hips back down and then cross right ankle over your right thigh, making sure your ankle bone actually hangs off of your thigh and your legs are in this kind of figure 4 position for our supine pigeon. So press your right knee away from you and then pull your left leg in. You could grab behind your thigh. You could grab your left shin. If this is too much, you can also just leave your left foot on the mat. Relax everything you can here. Soften your face. Relax your jaw. Release all those muscles around your eyes. Last 2 deep breaths here. Keep your legs in the same shape, but release your hands and then tip your legs over to the left side. So right foot steps down on the floor, but right knee is still kind of facing upward. And then reach your right arm out to the side. Turn your head in that direction as well. Still keeping your legs in the same shape. Lift them up. Left foot finds the mat, and then walk it over to the left edge of your mat. Exhale as you lower your knees toward the right. We're looking for a stretch in the left hip here, maybe in your left quad too. But if you don't feel that, strongly tuck your tailbone, squeeze your left glute. So you should feel your left hip bone jutting up toward the ceiling. Uncross your legs now. Bring your knees to center. Feet in toward the glutes. Bridge pose between the sides. So breathe in here. Breathe out, lift the hips. Pull heels back toward the shoulders. Imagine your knees are lengthening forward. And then slowly lower your hips back down. Cross left ankle over your right thigh now, making sure left ankle bone hangs off the thigh. And then maybe grab onto your right leg, pull it in. Allow your body to relax as much as you can. Again, paying special attention to your face, your eyes, and your jaw. Most of us hold more tension there than we realize. And none of those things are actually involved in this pose, so they can just relax. Keep the figure four shape with your legs, but let go of your hands. Tip your legs to the right side now, so left foot steps down on the floor. Reach the left arm out to your side and turn your head to the left. Keep the same shape with your legs, but lift the knees up. Plant right foot on the right edge of the mat, and then lower your knees toward the left. Trying to find a stretch in the right hip now, into the right quad. So if you need to, tuck your tailbone strongly, jutting your right hip bone up toward the ceiling. Uncross your legs, bring knees to center. We'll take one more bridge pose. So lift as you exhale. For this one, you could shimmy your shoulder blades even closer together underneath you. Maybe even clasp hands if that's within your practice. Hug your inner thighs toward each other. Draw heels back toward the shoulders to fully engage the back body. One last breath here. Then release your bind if you have it. Slowly roll down and stretch your legs up toward the ceiling. Draw some figure eights with your feet, getting a nice little massage on your low back and sacrum area. And when you're ready, stretch out flat on your back into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Letting your whole body relax. Feet can turn out, palms turn up, and eyes close down. Just giving your body a few minutes of rest, allowing it to soak in and integrate the practice. If you have time, I'd encourage you to spend a couple of minutes lying there in your Shavasana. But if not, slowly make your way back up to a cross-legged seat to close out your practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. Namaste.